A Fox News alert. President Trump securing even more victories for Americans on the final leg of his Asia trip. The president just holding a bilateral meeting with the South Korean president. Those two are also expected to have dinner. That coming up later this hour. The president also hopes to add a deal with South Korea to his massive wins in order to boost our economy.
I figure that we'll probably be at 20 or 21, maybe even $22 trillion of investments coming into our country by the end of the first year of my second term. And, we had a tremendously successful first term. We had the strongest economy in history for our country, strongest we ever had. But this is, I think, blowing it away. We have great policy. We have some very good things happening.
And as the president wraps his week-long trip to Asia, we are anticipating his meeting with Xi Jinping before he returns to Washington and any potential deals that could come from it. You're watching Fox and Friends First on this Wednesday morning. I'm Carly Shimkin.
That meeting with Xi Jinping, certainly the main event, but today is important as well. I'm Todd Pyro. Let's get right to Doug Luzader, tracking the president's movements right now. Doug.
Todd and Carly, good morning. A very warm welcome for the president as he arrived in South Korea overnight. He heaped praise on that country, and he described it as a cherished American friend and close ally, but also spoke of the ongoing tension with North Korea.
We're going to work with you, and we're going to take care of the one it's really a lingering cloud. I would call it a lingering cloud that's over your head. We're going to see if we can get that straightened out. And I just want to thank you again for the welcome. And I wanted to say we've been friends for a long time, and you are going to be a great president. You already are. And if we can do this together, then you'll go down as the greatest of them all, and we'll try and make that happen.
Now, the president also attended a lunch there, and take a look at the menu offerings. It included a salad called Reminiscing the Success Story of New York. Korean seafood meets Thousand Island dressing. And, of course, a short rib dish called Korean Platter of Sincerity with U.S. beef. Now, the president will also attend a dinner that will include the leaders of 7 other nations, including Vietnam, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Thailand, and Singapore. And, of course, all of this leading up to that big meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
The President Xi of China is coming tomorrow here, and we're going to be, I hope, making a deal. I think we're going to have a deal. I think it'll be a good deal for both. And that's really a great result. That's better than fighting and going through all sorts of problems and, no reason for it. I think it's going to be a great deal for both, so I'll be meeting him tomorrow. A lot of people are interested.
A lot of people are interested, and despite some talk of a possible meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, President Trump said they were unable to make the timing work. Todd and Carl.
Yeah, and I love the names of these menu items. Peacemaker's dessert. Sure. That's putting a lot of pressure on food. Peace in the region, all over a dessert.
Could use a good short rib dish.
That's right. Doug Luzader, live for us in Washington. Doug, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in Lily Tang Williams, New Hampshire congressional candidate, someone who lived in China as a survivor of Mao's revolution. Lily, thank you so much for joining us. So President Trump on his final leg of his Asia trip. How do you think the trip is going so far ahead of this hotly contested and hotly anticipated meeting, sit down with Xi Jinping tomorrow?
Well, I think his trip started in Southeast Asia with lots of great trade deals and peace deal, and he's building up to the meeting with Xi Jinping, where he will have more leverage for Americans, and you can see that his art of deal is showing on the international stage. A president who is respected for his strengths, for his leverage and negotiation skills. I think he's going to make Americans a great deal, and this is a good time to negotiate with China after he already made all the other deals with the countries in Asia.
Yeah, I think you really nailed it right there. I think what he's doing, I think it's obvious. He's setting up all these deals, all these alliances with all the countries surrounding China, basically, to box them in and to force their hand, get that leverage over them. Yeah. One area where I think that is going to be extremely necessary is fentanyl. Fentanyl is definitely going to be a major focus of these talks with Xi Jinping. So, Lily, do you think with the leverage we have going in, thanks to tariffs, these other deals, and just in general, do you think that Xi Jinping will finally be forced to finally stop poisoning Americans with fentanyl?
Well, President Trump is negotiating from the strengths So after he got all the alliances from other countries in Asia and take away Xi Jinping's leverage on real earth, I think everything is on the table. Fentanyl kills lots of Americans. Also, granny staters in New Hampshire. I think this is on top of his list. But once he has a strength of negotiation, he also, of course, will give Xi Jinping the opportunity to save face. So I think China's economy is weak, and he's losing leverage, and his internal political struggle, civil unrest, actually are not good for him right now. So I think this is a great time for President Trump to negotiate. And of course, the deal that both sides were great ways, but also take away, China's lots of leverage.
Yeah, well, speaking of China's leverage, President Trump, as you just heard, he's optimistic that he will be able to strike a deal when they meet tomorrow. When we say tomorrow, it's going to be tomorrow in South Korean time, but it's actually going to be 9 p.m. tonight is when that meeting will take place. But Xi Jinping might also be very interested in striking this deal because the Chinese economy is going through some significant challenges. So talk to us, Lily, a little bit about that and Xi's perspective going into this sit down with President Trump.
Well, you saw China just finished its big meeting where some of the closest military allies of Xi Jinping disappeared and lost power. So I think that he's facing lots of internal unrest and political power struggle because China's economy is weak and the youth unemployment is as high as 19%. So that he is facing that pressure to negotiate, at least to pretend that he is still very, very, powerful and relevant, and cut a deal with President Trump and pretend that he takes home some bacon. But actually, a final deal is going to be also good for our country. That's the most important thing, and for our economy.
Yeah, that certainly is the goal. Lily Tang Williams, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.